Wow, you have some beautiful children. You are so happy that they are in your life. But at the same time, whew, they are putting you through the ringer. They are getting under your skin. You did not imagine parenthood to be like this. We're going to talk about how to change that today, okay? If you don't know me, hello. My name is mmessina. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst, and I specialize in helping families go from struggle mode and survival mode to actual pure happiness, okay? I am grateful to have helped many people at the collegiate level to be a therapist themselves. I also am a subject matter expert for the Behavior Analyst Certification Board. I help to write exam questions, and I am trained in crisis prevention interventions. All right, so I've got lots and lots of experience. I'm so grateful because I've helped hundreds of families go from those survival modes, places that they never imagined they'd be, to actual true relief and happiness, okay? So thank you so much for being here. Let's dive in. So once again, with parenthood, when you first were told that you were going to be a parent, what were you thinking about? What did you think your child was going to look like, was going to act like? How do you think you were going to be a parent yourself? I know you were going to love these children, and you still do. But you might not have imagined how things are right now. Your child may have a label. It might be autism. It might be Down syndrome. It might be ADHD. It might be oppositional defiance. It might be nothing. But you are dealing with some severe behaviors that you might not know how to handle. So I'm so glad that you're here watching this video. The good news is that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know you've been going through it. I know you've tried so many things. I know that it is hard. And I know that your child is really pushing your buttons and you're acting out of character. You never thought that this is how you were going to be parenting. A lot of the things that you said you would never do, you might be doing. So let's think. Let's get to a place where we can actually be relieved of the stress and at the same time help our children to get to a place of actual happiness and reduce these problem behaviors so that we can build a happier home. Let's break through the I can'ts, the I will nevers, the in no universe will this ever change. So there's a couple things we're going to go through today. Go ahead and get your paper and pen or pencil if you don't already. We're going to be writing some notes. Okay, so to start off, I want you to give yourself some relief. Give yourself a nice, big, tight hug. Pat yourself on the back and say, I'm doing my best. Okay? You are doing your best. Know that anything that's going to change is going to take time. It's going to take baby steps. It's going to have to be consistent for the most part, but they're going to be minute baby steps. We're not going to see change overnight, but we know that in good time, things are going to change. So what I love about the field of applied behavior analysis, in which I am a therapist, we are very, very big on data collection. And that's because it can be really easy to forget all of the progress that we have made. Because we are just going about our day-to-day. We're responding in the ways that we are being taught and making tiny shifts. And we might not quite see the changes, but the data help us to see how things are going. So know that we are going to be able to make the change, but only in good time. Now, a fresh set of eyes is always helpful because you're living in the thick of it, right? You're feeling like there's no hope. This is how my life is. I didn't imagine it, but here we are. It is what it is. Once again, I'm really glad you're watching this video because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And someone such as myself or my team of people can come in and sadly but surely we can say, yeah, we've seen a behavior like this before. We've worked on it. Took a little time, but we've changed it, right? Or even if it's a new behavior we haven't seen before, we have some pretty good tips and tricks and strategies and tools that we can try out. Some might not work, but one will, okay? It's just try again. But go ahead and we're going to get started with our questions. And I want you to really be honest with yourself, because this is going to be the first step towards that change. And these notes are just for you. If you'd like to share them with me, I would love to review them and help you to even answer the questions if needed. But the first question is this. Honestly speaking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel like you can handle your child's problematic behaviors? So a 1 is like, Melissa, sorry, I'm throwing my hands up. I'm done. I have no idea what to do. This kid's stressing me out every single day. This is not the life I wanted, not the parenthood. I love my kid, but I just give up. I don't know what to do. That's a 1. And please, once again, be honest. That's the only way we're going to get anywhere with change, okay? Now, a 10 is, Melissa, I love watching your videos. This is really nice and refreshing to know that I'm doing it right. Thank you, but I don't need help. I'm good. My kid listens to me and listens to everybody else and rarely has behaviors, and they are just acting as they should, being a good kid no matter where we are, no matter who we're with. Congratulations. Now a 10, we can view it as perfection, which I never like to reach for, because I think that there's no such thing as perfection. But if we want to think of a 10 as realistically, like if you have a teenager, they're going to get a little bit of attitude with you, but overall they're in check. Or for a small kid, you're like, well, realistically, like they're going to have a little tantrum, but I can handle it. I'm good. Like everything's fine. There's nothing that really I want to change, and I feel like I have a good handle on my kids. Okay, so you can help to define what's a 10 for you. But once again, be honest. Scale of 1 to 10. A 5 is, let's think of it like a 50-50, right? So you could say to yourself, I feel like half the time I can handle the behaviors. It's always a gamble. When a behavior happens, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this could go one of 2 ways. How's it going to go today? And you're trying, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. All right? So rate yourself and how you can manage your child's problem behaviors on a scale of 1 to 10 is question number 1. Question number 2. This one, you're going to have to pause the video once I'm done explaining and really think about it and write it out, okay? The more detailed, the better for you. What did you anticipate parenthood to look like? How would you be as a parent? How would you discipline your child? How would you manage things when they come up that you didn't plan or expect? Okay, so we're thinking of you with this question, but also your child or children. And if you have multiple children you're thinking about, you could think of them separately or together. It's up to you, okay? Ideally, how would you love for them to be? And think of them in different areas. So in the area of like independence. And based on your situation, of course, right? So realistically, where would you love your child to be independent? In what tasks and what scenarios? It could be going to the bathroom on their own without having to be wiped. It could be being able to make a phone call when they're in danger. It could be advocating for themselves. There's so many different things. So this is open-ended, but really sit and think, what would you like for your child, okay? In the area of independence was an example. In the area of communication, right? And you know what? No matter our age, we're always working on communication. So let's be realistic. Communication in terms of them being able to describe the things that they want, the things that they need, describing their emotions, communicating with peers, with friends, maybe in dating, okay? Socializing along those lines. How would you love for them to have friends? What kind of friends groups? What events or scenarios or situations would you like them to be able to spend time with friends? And then, of course, their ability to make decisions without you. What kind of decisions would you like them realistically to be able to make when you are not present that will be in their best interest? Okay? So pause the video if you haven't already and think about these things and write them out to the best of your ability and then come back. Okay? We've got 2 more questions. All right, so on to question number 3. With any kind of behavior change, it's going to take some commitment. It's going to take some true thinking about what we're doing and how we are a game changer in this game of changing your child's behaviors. So realistically, what kind of time commitment can you give? Now, the time commitment is going to be in terms of your communication with the therapist. It's going to be in terms of you implementing the different interventions. It's going to be in terms of you communicating and advocating for what you're comfortable with, not comfortable with, any suggestions you may have, any tips and tricks that you've learned along the way that you know help, questions you have about what's being implemented, right? But also, this is about time commitment for your child. Now, depending on the behaviors that we're going to change, there might need to be 10 hours plus a week that your child needs to be embedded and ingrained into therapy with a trained professional to be able to really work on these behaviors. It might be, though, that you only have a couple hours a week. So think about what kind of time commitment can you give, okay? Finally, and this is one of the best questions that, again, I really want you to think about and think on your heart. So earlier, you rated yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on how confident you feel in changing your child's problem behaviors. I want you to think and put yourself in a place that you're feeling actually like a 8 or a 9 or a 10. How would you feel? What would that mean for you? What would life look like? What would you be able to do more of? What would your child be like? How would it feel to be an 8, a 9, or a 10 in your ability to manage your child's problem behaviors? Write it down, okay? I really want you to think on these. This is where it starts. This is where the game changes. And this is where the light at the end of the tunnel is visible. It's there, I promise you. I'm here for you. My team is here for you. And if you're ready, go ahead and shoot me an email. I have it listed below. Follow me on social media at Breakthrough Behavior Analysis. And please subscribe if you haven't already. There are plenty more videos to come. Thank you so much for your time.